Premise of the movie is set in the year 1958. A young woman named Rose lives in Normandy with her father. She works as a cashier at a family-owned grocery store, but is ambitious about doing something better in life. With the same dream in mind, she applies for a job as a secretary in an insurance office. Many women have lined up for the interview, which makes Rose nervous. Moreover, they chat about proper interview attire and etiquette that Rose was completely oblivious to prior to this. The owner of the company, Louis, is a kind-hearted but stern man. When it is Rose's turn, she gets to meet him. On being asked about her strengths, she claims that she is very good at typing, but since it is the minimum requirement for a job like this, she is turned down. Louis walks to the door to invite another candidate inside, but Rose refuses to give up that easily. She pulls a typewriter over and starts typing at a great speed, with only 2 fingers. When she is done, her hair's a mess, and the strap of her dress has moved. The two look at each other, unable to deny the sexual tension. Amazed by Rose's skill and beauty, Louis hires her. Imagine a world where typing fast gets you laid. That day, Rose returns home in excitement, but her father doesn't allow her to move to the city for work. He wants her to get married to a local rich mechanic. Rose defies her father's wish and runs away from home the next morning. In the city, she stays at a women's hostel and begins going to work. Louis soon starts to regret his decision because Rose types the entire day, making tapping noises that are too loud for him to focus. She is also not good at anything other than typing. Across from Louis's office is his friend Bob's architectural firm, hence the two get to hang out with each other often. Bob notices that Rose's presence has started to bother Louis. In the evening, Louis goes to Bob's home, where they have organized a birthday party for him. Bob's wife Marie used to be Louis's sweetheart before he went to war. They are still good friends, but Louis never stopped loving her, even though she is married to his best friend and has 2 children. As days pass, Louis gets to see more sides to Rose. She is very unprofessional, but completes the job at the end of the day. Anytime he tries to make fun of her, she has a snarky comment ready to go. A week into working together, Louis sits her down and tells her that she hasn't been an ideal secretary. He suggests she do something more personal in order to prove her worth. Rose assumes the worst and storms off, refusing to get into bed with him. But Louis follows her to explain what he means. He wants her to take part in the typing competition for women. Sure, that's what he meant. If she is able to win, she can continue working for him. Louis sees real talent in Rose and wants to be the one to support her. When Ben finds out about this, he laughs at Louis. He thinks it is better to sleep with a secretary than to enroll her in a competition that does him no good. However, Louis ignores his suggestion, knowing that Rose will be a hit if given an opportunity. On the day of the competition, Rose is nervous. The women she is competing against are professionals who have been practicing for months. The tournament starts and she instantly struggles to place the paper on the typewriter and change it. The other women are using all their fingers, unlike her, and she is only 2 words short of qualifying for the next round. On the car ride back home, she cries and asks to be let out. Later that day, Louis goes to meet her in the hostel and invites her to live at his home. He wants to train her so she can compete in the next tournament that is in 3 months. If she agrees, she gets to keep her job as well. Rose thinks about it for a minute before accepting. Then she moves in with him, but the two decide to keep it a secret. Her training starts on the very first day. Louis makes her paint her nails a certain color and assigns the color to a part of the typewriter. That way, she knows what finger to use for what letter. Initially, Rose thinks it is too much work, but Louis monitors her every move, making sure she is not trying to cheat him by using her old method. She is made to train for hours alongside working as his secretary. This causes her to make several mistakes at work, but Louis teaches her a lesson every time. The two return home separately, so people won't suspect they are living together. One afternoon, on Louis's way back home, he notices Rose falling off her bike. He goes to help her and cannot help but to notice that her top is see-through. The next day, he finds Rose's bra inside the washer. Instead of making it awkward, he goes to her room to place it himself. Yeah, that's not awkward. He is caught in the act, but Rose laughs it off and jokes about buying him a pair. A few more days pass of them living together. Louis cooks sometimes, which Rose thinks is interesting. Some days, the exhaustion gets the best of her, so he gives her a gentle massage. They both feel the sparks between them, but hide their feelings behind playful insults. One afternoon, Louis goes to Marie, begging her to give Rose piano lessons. He thinks that learning to play the piano will be good for her typing speed. When Marie refuses, he manipulates her by trying to hurt himself. Rose notices the special closeness between them. While dressing Louis's wound, she calls him out for bragging to another man's wife. Louis just smiles at her for an answer. Starting the next day, the typing lessons are followed by piano lessons and a 1-mile run every day. When it is finally the day of the local level competition, Rose comes first in every round and reaches the finale. To prepare for the next match, her nail polish and the color on the typewriter are removed. Louis times her every time she types and is glad to see that she is making progress. Then, for the final match, she and the opponent face each other in a fierce competition. Louis holds his breath when it is announced that Rose is the new Normandy typewriting champion with 491 keystrokes per minute. Ben loses the bet and has to hand his entire wallet to his friend. Louis and Rose hug in joy. They have finally proven themselves as a competent teacher and student. The following day at work, everyone is praising Rose. Louis has brought a bouquet of red roses for her, but prior to him, another man gives her the same thing. He also invites her to dinner at night, but Louis interrupts them, saying that she still has to train for the national level competition. In the meantime, Marie and Rose have also developed a friendship. Marie wants the best for Louis and thinks he is meant to be with Rose. On her birthday, Rose is sad that her father didn't send her a letter, but at night, Louis surprises her with a cake that sends her over the moon. He also gives her a handmade typewriter cover that will help her type without looking at the keys. Upon seeing the gift, Rose realizes it is not for her, but for himself. She feels like everything Louis does is to prove that he is a good person, because if not, he wouldn't have given her the cover when she is tired of practicing for hours every day. They get into an argument before she goes to her room. Later, he asks her to go home on Christmas because his family will come over. Rose suggests she can act like his maid, but Louis urges her to leave as soon as possible. With no other choice, Rose goes back to her town. However, her father refuses to meet her. After spending hours beside her mother's grave, she decides to go to Marie's place. Upon finding out that Louis asked her to go away, Marie is furious. She drives Rose to his house and introduces her as his fiancée to his parents. Rose is welcomed and treated like family. She and Louis have to act like lovers, but they do not seem to mind. During dinner, Louis's father criticizes him for being too weak because he prioritizes customers more than money. Rose speaks in the favor of her boss, asking his father to be more like his son. The gesture makes Louis feel a warm sensation in his heart. During supper, he dances with Rose and carries her to bed because she is drunk. Rose asks him to join her, but Louis laughs it off, saying that they aren't married yet. The next day, Louis is at Ben's. Marie makes him reveal that he and Rose haven't kissed, which wins her $10 from Ben. Louis is mad that they bet on his and Rose's relationship. When he retaliates, Marie simply states that he has fallen in love with Rose. A week later, Louis and Rose go to Paris to take part in the national level typing competition. Rose goes to the beauty parlor, eager to compete with the divas of Paris. She returns home at night in a seductive red dress. Louis cannot take his eyes off of her, but stops himself from doing anything stupid. Since when do the French show anywhere near this level of restraint? He thinks their relationship will distract her from the match tomorrow. Rose argues that nothing of such sort will happen. They lock lips for a kiss and end up making love. In the following scene, we are introduced to the 3-time national typewriting champion, Annie. She boasts about her unbeatable talent and is confident she will win this year as well. The competition starts and both Annie and Rose do their best. In the end, they make it to the final round. The match is intense and the results astonish everyone. Both of them have typed exactly 498 keystrokes per minute. A 5-minute extra time is added so the judges can come to a decision. During the break time, Louis tells Rose that she is doing worse than training. They get into an argument that fuels her will to win. Louis is happy because this is exactly why he provoked her. For the last round, he goes outside, unable to watch the fierce match. Annie tries to stare Rose down, but she fights back harder. In the end, Louis hears people cheering and runs to the stage to see his secretary celebrating. His eyes tear up as he watches her smiling in pure happiness. But just then, the head organizer tells him that he has to leave Rose if he wants her to win the international competition. Louis knows he is telling the truth because his presence is a distraction to her. The same night, Rose tells him that she loves him. Louis feels his pain multiply at the confession because he loves her too, but isn't able to confess. He tells her that he only slept with her so that she would win the competition. Rose refuses to believe him, but he leaves Paris without her, leaving the poor girl heartbroken. Although depressed, Rose has to star in commercials and attend several press conferences. She turns into a national celebrity overnight. She gets a letter from her father saying that he is proud of her. Many powerful men fawn over her, but she continues calling Louis every night. He too is suffering as much as her. He brings a random woman home, but cannot bring himself to sleep with her. Then he goes to Marie and asks her why she chose Ben instead of him. Marie replies that she felt loved when she was with Ben, but Louis was ready to sacrifice her to go to war. Even though he wanted her to be happy, he never fought to be with her. Louis realizes he is doing the same thing with Rose and decides to fly to America. In the meantime, Rose is in America representing France in the international typewriting competition. She is going against the American record holder, who has remained undefeated her entire career. The match will be completed in 2 rounds. In the first one, Rose is so nervous that she loses by a large gap. During the break, she runs backstage and is surprised to see Louis. He confesses that he loves her back and motivates her to do her best. Rose uses her old typewriter and is determined to win the last round. It starts, and Rose types like she has been possessed, making the opponent nervous. In the middle of it, her typewriter malfunctions, but she fixes it quickly and continues. Despite the obstacle, Rose wins and is awarded the world's fastest typist. Louis could not be more proud of her. The movie ends as they kiss, and the entire crowd cheers for them. Remember, kids, if you want to get with your crush, just abduct them, make them run a mile every day, and force them into a competition that they don't even care about. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.